Giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. The problem with camps. I want to break this down, kind of take my time. This is where the spirit been. So my opinion about the camps is that, the camps do great things, man. Great things, The brotherhood sometimes amongst, well, I can't even say that. Looking from the outside in, the brotherhood is a great thing. The work that's being done, the effort that's being done. But there's pros and there's cons. There's bad things. The camps on one end of the side, the camps unify brothers into a camp for brotherhood. But the camps also separate brothers, because you got to separate yourself once you come under this camp. Once you come under this banner, what happens is you see separation from other camps and other brothers that's not a part of your camp. And that's the bad part of it. So there's an illusion of, well, we unifying because we bringing brothers into our camp and we all coming together. But what you're doing is you're actually separating yourselves into groups, into camps. Is this about the ABC boys, the EFG boys, the XYZ boys, or is this about us being the children of Israel? The problem with it is that the law, statutes, and commandments is not given amongst camps. This camp, and then this camp, and then this camp. The law, statutes, commandments, which is how we were taught it, is given to the children of Israel. We are all one big camp. We are Hebrew Israelites, right? But the problem is when, and I seen this, and I give you testimony on this, right? I seen how brothers will treat you if you are possibly working towards being a prospect of their camp or joining a camp. They treat you with open arms. They treat you great. That brotherhood. And then I seen how brothers treat you when you're not. Or if you decide to go a different way and not necessarily join a camp. I had the opportunity to join camps, some camps where I didn't really want to join because I knew what it meant. I knew that, yes, I would be unifying with these brothers, but then I would be required, because now I'm under a man's authority, whoever's the leader of the camp. And I will be required now to separate myself from the rest of my brothers. I could go out and I could teach them on the highways and byways, but as far as actually being a brother to them, I can't do that. They have to join the camp. That's a SS. That's exclusive. They have to actually join this for me to be a real brother to them, for me to do things with them, for us to really be brothers and do things and kick it and hang out and keep feast and stuff like that together. You got to be a part of my camp. Other than that, if you're not a part of my camp, I can't do these things with you. And that's the problem. And those are the things that's keeping us divided. Some brothers are sincere and they just following what their leaders told them to do. I get that. But, I'm so thankful to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai for opening my eyes up to be able to see past that. It's not something that's needed in order for you to follow the Lord. So a lot of times it may look like the guys that are against the camps are the ones that's against unity. But looks could be deceiving. Me, I'm not against camps. It's just I'm for one camp, which is the camp of Israel. And then if you're going to break it down to anything, you're going to break it down to like tribes, of course, Judah, Levi. But we are all supposed to be together one anyways. That's what we should be working towards. That's what the law teaches us. If we're talking about following the law, that's what it teaches us. So really, and then even in Ezekiel 37 says he's going to make us one in his hand. One stick. So we supposed to be under one camp, which is the Hebrew Israelites. That's what I'm for. I'm for unifying under one camp, one name, Hebrew Israelites, the name that was given to us, our God-given name that was given to us by Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. That's what I'm for. I'm not for the whole bunch of splinter individual camps. I'm not for that. I'm for one camp. We don't need to separate ourselves into this name. The ABZ boys, the EFG boys, the IOP, the IOC, the G, the this, the that. We don't need to do that. It's not needed, but we still do it, and you still see the results that we're getting. This is Leviticus 19:17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in anywise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. So when you're rebuking, you're doing it so that person don't be in sin. But it says, look, you should not hate thy brother in thy heart. But what do we see? What do the camps cause? Now tell me if I'm just wrong or I'm going off on this. I mean, it's just simple. I didn't cause this. I'm just reporting what the truth is. We do see brothers coming together, unifying in camps, but we see that cause hate amongst the camps. I done seen brothers coming to camp. I was down at a GMS camp. I seen brothers coming to it, man. That's just 6 months into the fucking camp, and they're talking about IUIC and how they're wicked and how they hate them and this and that. But the law is not just amongst those GMS members. The law is amongst the children of Israel. Meaning, if you call yourself in the truth and you run across an Israelite that's not in the truth at a bar, you out somewhere, or you at the mall and you run across, you still have to keep this law pertaining to him. Now, we got some camps that say you could basically commit adultery against a brother that's not in the truth. Because if he got a wife, that wife got to leave him and get with somebody that's in the camp, that's in the truth. So they're putting their camp above the law at that point. Because the law don't say nothing about if it's a difference between the camp. Because they're not saying, hey, if a woman comes into my camp and she got a non-believing husband, she got to leave her husband and then she just got to get with a brother that's in the truth. Meaning that she could get with a brother that's at GMS or a brother that's at Sakari. No, they're not saying that. They saying you got to get with a brother that's amongst they camp. That's adultery. But they just saying that it's not. You see the problem there? That's when you're starting to put your camp over the law. The law doesn't come first no more. And that's what camps cause. Because you start worshiping men. And that's the problem with the camps, man. And that's a big problem. So it says, mark them that cause division. Now, camps usually use this to divide themselves, which is ironic because they say, we got to divide ourselves from you because you're causing division amongst our camp. Right, you coming in. If that's the case, Yahushua was causing division amongst camps. But you got to mark, and they did mark them. So it's the same thing. They mark you and say, well, you got to mark them that cause divisions. But in reality, you're guilty of that. Because you're causing division by joining yourself into a camp and dividing yourself from the rest of Israel. We go out and teach, brothers. Yeah, but you're still dividing yourself into that camp for those certain reasons that I named. Because now it's almost like some of these camps is keeping a certain law just amongst their camp members. And if you're not their camp members, then that law doesn't pertain to you. And that's not what the Lord said. Matthew chapter 5, right? Verse 21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old, thou shalt kill, and whoever thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of judgment. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of judgment. You guys are angry without a cause. You're angry just because they're not a part of your camp or they're a part of another camp. And your leader don't like their leader. So now you're mad at all of them without a cause. You are in danger of judgment and you don't even see it. And whosoever shall say unto his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of counsel. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be danger of hellfire. So that's what you're saying. You're getting yourself in a camp. You're learning the doctrine that your leader told you. And then anything that goes against that doctrine or that's different against that doctrine, you're calling them foolish. I done seen members like GMS South Carolina. I done seen him literally call people fools. You damn fool. This is foolish. He's going to be guilty of, he could be guilty of that. See, that's pride. And the pride is not coming from the Lord. His pride is coming from These men elevated me to this status a part of this camp. So now I feel like I got some type of status. What the bam, and my YouTube channel is going. I'm getting some decent movement on my YouTube channel. So I feel like I could talk like however I want to talk. And he's been warned plenty of times. There's plenty of things he did wrong, and his own leaders had to rebuke him and warn him. You see what I'm saying? So that's what happens. You say, "Thou fool," right? Because that's being prideful. Because are you not a fool? We're all fools compared to the Lord. We don't have the knowledge, wisdom that the Lord has, or anywhere close to it. So we're all fools. We can't get free from Esau if we wanted to. If we wanted to come together and conquer Esau, we couldn't even do it ourselves. We don't even have the intelligence to do it. But the Lord has the intelligence to do it. So we're all fools compared to the Lord. And that's how the Lord looking at it. Because we supposed to be brothers. Imagine you got a father and you got a household and he got 3 sons in his household. And imagine all 3 sons separate themselves. Instead of coming together as a unit together, being brothers, they all separate themselves. They all got 3 separate rooms. They all go by 3 separate things. They all got 3 different separate doctrines of how they think and the rules that they got to follow. But you as the father, you saying, hold up, I gave y'all rules for the household. Y'all all have to follow these rules. But son A got difference on how he followed the rules. And then son B got a difference on how he followed. And then son C got a difference on how he followed the rules. And they all fighting against each other. Going back against each other, calling each other fools. But they all little kids. So they all fools compared to the father. Y'all all foolish. Y'all don't fucking know anything. But y'all sitting here pointing the fingers at each other, calling each other fools. That's what this is talking about. Y'all all gonna be in danger of getting all y'all asses whooped. That's what this is talking about. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there remembers that thy brother has aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way first to be reconciled to thy brother, and then to come and offer thy gift. Right now, some might say, well, we ain't got no altar no more. But it still stands. It's what's the point of it? It's saying, look, if you got a problem with your brother, go be reconciled to your brother. But guess what we use not to be reconciled to our brothers? Oh, he's not a part of my camp. If he's a part of my camp, then, and we have a problem, we got to reconcile this. But if he's not a part of my camp, then I ain't got to reconcile with him. He's just wicked. All right, he's a part of another camp. They're going off. They're wicked. I don't have to reconcile to them. But this ain't talking about just amongst your camp. Every camp that I done seen, they all have claimed to be the man of the Lord. And everybody else is going off in some type of way. And their camp is the man of the Lord. And the world's going to come to find out that they were truly the man of the Lord. They all say that. And whoever their leader is of their camp is the closest person to God. They all say the same thing. There's a problem there if they're all saying the same thing. They all been saying the same thing like that for 30, 40, 50 years. There's a problem there. Remember the year 2000 doctrine? That the world was supposed to end in the year 2000? Just imagine all the brothers that was kicked out of camps because they didn't believe that. See, it wasn't about the truth. It was about what your leader told you. Just imagine all the brothers that was hated against, that was treated different for no cause, just because they didn't believe that, and they end up being right. All the brothers that was, man, I don't think it's gonna end in 2000. What? Your ass going off? See, this is what the camps bring. Your ass going off? Yeah, the world finna end in 2000. Are you gonna be judged? You saying that it ain't gonna end in 2000? Right. We got 175 days left of America. Hey, we got 100 days left of America. You still don't believe that it's finna end? We 100 days. We 100 days left. You gonna die. You not a part of the elect because you don't believe. You have no belief. You got little faith. You a bug out because you don't believe that America finna end in 100 days. The year 2000. It's coming. You better repent. You got 99 days left. And then imagine when it got down to 10 days. You got 10 days left. It's December 21st. Or if they say, okay, some winter time is not it's not the new year. It's actually in March. Hey, it's March 22nd, or it's March 21st. You got the March 31st, or it's March 11th. You got the March 22nd until springtime comes. That's the real new year. You got 10 days left. And then imagine the ox that was like that just fell for it. That was just like, you know what? I believe 10 days left. I believe it's finna end. Everything going crazy. They talking about war. When have they not been talking about war? They've been talking about that since World War II. They was building bunkers in the and where that's at, and in Colorado. They built bunkers because they were scared the Russians was gonna come over and bomb them. They've been talking about that since all the way back then, since World War II. So imagine during that time something big happened, right? It's finna be the new year. Passover's finna come. We believe that the Lord's gonna come get us on the Passover. This is it. This is the year 2000. And brothers that turned back and said, no, I believe that the world's going to end in 10 days. Then those 10 days go by, 30 days, 60 days go by. Things still going. Now, these brothers then being called agents. You an agent set up to deceive our people, a stumbling block in front of our people that the world's not going to end in the year 2000. You an agent. Because our leaders told us it was going to end in 2000. You going off, you a bug out. You a cast out. We gonna cast you out and not communicate with you. Then 30 days go by past the year 2000. The whole year. Then they get to making up shit. Well, we really don't know what year it is. It could be coming up to the year 2000 still. Then 10 years go by. Then 12 years go by. And then they saying in 2012 that the world's gonna end. Then 15 years go by. Then 20 years go by. In the year 2020, they talking about, what happened. Oh, this is the end. This is it. I've been down to camps in the year 2019 when that shit first started popping off the end of 2019. Brothers was saying we only got like 2-3 years left. That gets us to the year 2023. Still here. Year 2024. Still here. Now we in 2025. They was naming the years. Year 2023, I'm roughly paraphrasing, the year of the end, the year of Yahushai's return. But then he didn't return during that year. You see this is the problem that you get from the camps. And then everybody look around and then, you just make up an excuse. You just say, well, that's just what our leaders was teaching us. So that's just what we was teaching during that time. Everybody was teaching it during that time. No, not everybody. There was brothers that was teaching against it. Those brothers you just don't really hear about because they was kicked out. They was looked at as bug outs. Then nobody run back to the brothers that got kicked out that saying, no, the world's not finna end in year 2000 and say, hey, look, you made a right prophecy. You might be actually a prophet. When the popular thing was that the year is going to end in 2000, these brothers over here, let's go find who these brothers is and let's reconcile with them. Let's give those brothers hey, I'm sorry, we discommunicated you. We stopped dealing with you, we said you was a bug out. We said all this slander about you because you said the world wasn't going to end in 2000 and it end up didn't. I'm sorry. You don't have that. You just got brothers saying, well, fuck them. And they move forward and then they come and just make up an excuse and then they put the blame on their elders that's not around no more. It's their fault. It's not our fault. That's what the camps bring. You got to be reconciled to your brother whether he's in your camp or not, because that's the law for Israel, not just the law for individual camps. And I see the discommunication. If, like I said, go down to a camp and try to join it, and you're going to see how they treat you when they think that you're going to join it, and then back up from there and say, you know what, I just want to be brothers. I don't necessarily want to join the camp. We could do some work together. We could study together. You know what I mean? I come out here. I know this y'all platform. I'll come out here, stand around, support y'all. Woo out the bam. You know what I mean? Come to mine and stand around, support me. We just brothers. You see what I'm saying? We could hang out. We could do the feast of dedication together and stuff like that. But I don't want to actually join and be a part of your camp. It just don't make no sense. Why? Why do I have to? Why do I have to do that to follow Yahushua? And then watch how they treat you then. They're going to discommunicate you. If they had your number, they're going to delete it, probably block it. They're going to stop messaging you, stop calling you, stop talking to you, stop being friends with you. And they not even going to become fully friends with you until you actually join the camp. Then let you actually join the camp. Then you're going to be a brother. But if you don't join it, they gonna kind of keep their distance. I done seen it where I was going down to GMS camp in St. Louis, and I had a guy down there that I ain't gonna lie, like, I'm just gonna be honest with you, keep it real. You know, this guy, I was looking at damn near like a brother, a friend. We didn't just meet each other a week later and I was, oh, this guy. No, we was seeing each other every weekend for a year straight. They want to say it was 3-4 months. I say it was a year because when I moved to St. Louis, I had a year lease. When I moved to St. Louis, I started going down to camp. That's one of the first things I did when I moved to St. Louis. I found the camp and I came to it. When I left the camp, I moved back to Springfield. That's all documented. That's a year lease. I only moved to Springfield because I got out my lease and I was renting my home that I own and my tenant's lease in it too. So I moved back into my home that was in Springfield because my lease had ended, a year lease. That's when I left them. It was around the same time. So I was down there about a year, but halfway through that point, I was telling this brother, I was like, the brother was having financial struggles. And I told the brother, I ain't tell nobody else. I told him. I ain't tell the other brothers at the camp. I told him because of our connection. He came to my house. He came to my home. I told the brother, I said, hey, look, if you need help, bro, with anything, you have financial troubles, I got you. And I meant that. And you know what? In my mind, when I told him that, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, if the brother come and ask me for a stack, $1,000, I'm going to give it to him because I'm a man of my word and I told him that I would. And I'm going to feel good about it because he going to pay it back because we both follow this law. That's how close I thought we was getting. We talked, we studied. He came to my house. Bro used to call me about girl problems. Should I do this? Should I do that? Is this adultery? What you think? I give him my opinion. Nah, you think you should do this? Or if you're trying to get the girl, look, do it this way. Give him a little game, that I have. Look, do it this way. This how they act. What, bam, you could do it this way. She gonna come back. Or do you think, yeah, bro, that might be adultery because she got boom, 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 boom. You got to take her. If she said she had a man, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? You gotta verify that, or you gotta stay away from it. It's not worth. So I'm giving him. You see what I'm saying? But then when I had a problem, a very minor problem that was blew out of proportion because of the camp thing, because some people think they got authority and they better and they're in a higher position, even if they don't say it, even if they don't talk like that and they don't say it, it's in their conscience. So I had a problem with another brother in the camp, and then that caused was decommunication. That caused me to be exiled and blacklisted amongst the whole camp. So even this brother I was cool with, me and him never spoke again. So I look back on that like, oh, this is fake friends. We was never really friends. I was actually kind of hurt by that because I thought he was really a friend. I'm like, oh, he's a fake friend. You ain't call me, what's going on? You good? Okay, I know you ain't coming down to the camp no more, but we could still kick it. You know what I mean? As long as you ain't being just wicked, you ain't just out here being wicked and shit like that. So, you just not a part of our camp. We ain't taking members right now, but what's up? You want to go grab a bite to eat? Me and you could still kick it. We could still be brothers because that's reconciled. Because who knows? If me and this brother keep going and being friends, maybe I may come back to the camp and maybe we might be able to reconcile some stuff over time. Things are just heated right now, but that's not what happened. Brother all communicated. I said, oh, he a fake friend then. He was never really my friend. And then that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch out for that shit. These niggas be fake. These niggas will backstab you. So if that happened during that time, let me get it. If that happened over that little situation, right? Over that little situation, let me get it. Matthew 24, verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Right? And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. If that happened because of that, how much more when Jacob's trouble come, when all hell break loose, how much more? It says they should betray. The only way you could be betrayed is by somebody that's close to you. Somebody that's not close to you. Some dude that is the owner of fucking a Chrysler, Dodge and Ram in California that does some shit and get a government some information on some Hebrew Israelites, and I end up getting caught in that. That's not him betraying me. That's just an enemy. It's just a random dude. Somebody betraying you is somebody that's close to you, somebody you trusted, that that snitched on you, betrayed you, or delivered you up. So if brothers would do that based off of camp, what do you think gonna happen when all hell break loose? Brothers are gonna be betraying one another, man. Oh, I had to. They was threatening my family, so I had to give up you and your family. Man, when all hell break loose, you ain't gonna give no fuck about who's in the camp. If you out there and it's a Mad Max situation, if you on the West Coast, or if you're in the Midwest and it's a Walking Dead situation, you through fucking forests and shit like that, and you run into a brother, and he a Hebrew Israelite, he got fringes on, and he got some resources that could, and you finna die in a day because you ain't ate or drunk, and you run into this brother, but he got some food. Or you gonna say, let's just say you a GMS member and you run into an IUIC member. It's 5 IUIC members and they got some food and water. You ain't ate in days, and this really your last day. You could die if you don't eat and drink. And you run into a house and there's IUIC members in there, right? And you finna die. Or you gonna say, oh no, that's IUIC members. Nah, I can't get no food from them. Man, hell no. If those brothers see you and be like, hey, come eat, come drink. Man, your ass gonna go eat and drink so you can survive. You gotta deal with that, man. Yeah, you gotta play it smart. Maybe they is setting you up. Maybe it's a trap. I get that whole part too, but still, the point still stands, man, that the camp shit ain't gonna matter. You see what I'm saying? If we get in the wilderness, like it says in Ezekiel 20, and the Lord's there and he's purging out the rebels, and the Lord end up purging out, and one of the rebels be the leader of your camp, what you gonna do? Are you going to rebel against the Lord and get purged out too? Or you going to just say, hey, he had to go? See, then the camp shit not going to matter no more. We got to deal with this, man. So I seen brothers do that and seen how fake. I said, oh, okay. That hit me and I realized, okay, this ain't real. This is like, it's like y'all are employees. It's fake. You know how you'll treat an employee a certain type of way, but it's fake. You really don't feel that way about them, but you're going to treat them good because you're at work. It's really you putting on a fake front. You might hate they fucking guts, but you know, if they Edomite, but you're going to treat that Edomite good at work because you at work. So you putting on a front. This your employee. I mean, this your co-worker. But y'all not real brothers. That's what I realized about the Hebrew Israelite things. And I seen it again when I was coming down to a camp, Wuad the Bam. And I told the bro, I said, look, bro, I'm going through some stuff myself, where I'm being more enlightened of the truth, and I'm trying to figure out what is what, you know what I mean? So I'm going through those things. Brothers told me he was going to call me. We was going to get on a call and we was going to figure it out. Never called me. So I ain't been really coming down to the camp like that, but we could still be brothers. We could be friends. But I know that ain't going to happen because it's all dependent on if I join your camp or not. That's the problem. That's the problem. So it's doing more harm than good. It does do some good, but it's doing more harm than good. It's stumbling blocks. So you got to understand that. We got to be one camp. I'm for camps. I'm for one camp. Take the S off the end. I'm for one camp. And I'm for camps too with the S on the end. I'm for the camp of Judah. I'm for the camp of Ephraim. I'm for the camp of Manasseh. I'm for the camp of Issachar, Gad. Those are our camps. We already got camps made. It's called tribes. We don't need even more camps now. You know? So when it goes to Luke where it says, look, where is that at? In Luke 12? Let's go to it. This isn't just for the Edomites. This is for all nations. Luke 11, verse 17. But he knowing their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. Every house and every king and every kingdom. If we supposed to be the house of David, we have to unify, man. If we are divided, we will fall, and we're not going to climb back up. That's called divide and conquer. Esau's been doing that. Esau has agents that's the leaders of these camps, and their job is to keep us divided and keep us bigger and fighting over doctrine and keep us conquered. Esau has always, it happened with the Native Americans. They got their whole land taken and complete genocide committed on them because they were divided and conquered. They were divided against each other before Esau came over here. They were fighting against each other, warring against each other, killing each other. So all Esau ever did was come as a unified front. He came as a unified front, the U.S. Army. And with that, he were able to conquer and take all of America because they were divided and conquered. Simple. He divided and conquered the Native Americans. He did the same exact thing with Judah, the so-called blacks. He went over there, divided and conquered. There was tribes over there in Africa fighting. There was tribes over there fighting with Hamites. He divided, conquered, brung our asses back over here, and then divided us between plantations even more and continued to conquer us. And he does it today. That's why you have the United States. They want to divide and conquer you based on what city you on. Now you're divide and conquer based on hoods. Well, I'm from Chicago. Well, I'm from New Orleans. Well, I'm from Atlanta. Well, I'm from New York. Then you got West Coast versus East Coast beef. Where I'm from Cali. Divide and conquer. And then it's divide and conquer about city blocks. Well, we Bloods. Well, we GDs. Well, we Crips. Well, we from this street. We from that street. That's divide and conquer, man. I see them even in my hood, where I come from. Divide and conquer. Even just you could be divided and conquered by the streets. Well, we from 63rd. Well, we from 64th. You talking about a different of a fucking block, and we divided and conquered. While Esau has synergy, he has companies merging together as one, coming together as one. That's the divide and conquer tactic. They do it with politics. Democrats, Republicans. And then you got other shit. That's to keep the country divided so the government can have the power. But the government is not divided. They got different fashions, but they all work together as one unit. That's the difference. So deal with that. What I'm going to say, salvation to the elect, Shalom.